I'm trying to muster up just this new version of myself or a new chapter of myself. Really just watching myself develop from beginning, very beginning up until right now. Experiencing the pandemic and like following my dreams and like trying different things and like just I'm literally going through a constant transformation. Passion is everything when it comes to stepping into self. It's your girl Poe, P-O-E, your favorite tree. Ooh. If you want to follow me, you can check me out at Poeism. Today is October 5th, Tuesday, and I now live in LA, in California, and it feels, I don't know how it feels. Some of my last videos I definitely recorded while I was visiting California, which was March of last year. And I was just in a very like weird space because, you know, it was really kind of like the height of COVID and what was going on with the pandemic. And it just really just put things in perspective when it comes to what's most important to me, my ethics, my morals, truly how I express and be myself, my integrity, my expression, my goals, my wants, like so many things that I thought I was putting perspective and thought into, and I was in a lot of different ways, but not as much as I thought I was. And so yeah, it's just been a very long journey. It's still a journey. But the past 2 years have been so different. Even how I just choose to go about my everyday life. It's different. So I'm here now. And what I really wanted to do was look at one of my last videos I made a couple years ago. It was at the beginning of the year. It was pre-COVID pandemic before that. And I recorded me creating my vision board for that year. Of course, this is years ago, but that year. And, you know, I look like a little youngin' and now you're young Poe. I still haven't really looked back at the video myself, but I really want to align and bring into perspective the things that I was working on and doing and aspiring to and planning for then and where I am now. I can't say to just look at it as a whole that I'm, for the most part, doing what I said I wanted to do, or I said I wanted to start my business, and I'm almost in my second year of my business. I wanted to start my poetry album, and I already did that. I wanted to continue with my music privately, and I'm doing that. I just wanted to do more when it came to my community, and then making, with some of my friends, I ended up making a nonprofit organization to help with my community. Like, manifestation is real, but also the focus and determination and I call it the dead assness, but the discipline that it takes to get there is a lot, because throughout that process I realized a lot about what is actually my duty, my responsibility to myself, to my higher self, my future children, and certain things, you know, living less codependently when it comes to how other people feel in general, but how other people feel about me, how other people feel or do or behave or whatever. None of my business. You know, taking more accountability for my own actions and my own responsibility, the things that I have to complete, even really recognizing the things that I really don't know and not being shameful about the things that I don't know, whether or not it's financials or how to handle my emotions or how to handle relationships or how to handle people or how to handle art, whatever the case may be, the things that I just don't know, that's okay. So this is really like my first kind of like video, and I don't know how I choose to go about a lot from now on, because this is now a new chapter, right? Once you finish, when you're reading a book, you read the chapter, you read the next chapter, you read the next chapter, and then, you know what I mean, you keep going until the book is over, then you move on to the next book. It's kind of like that, where it's like, in this new chapter, though I'm going to take what's important and things that I learned in the previous chapters, this is still a new chapter, and I gotta let the last chapters and the previous chapters be what they are, where they are, so that I can now really absorb the newness and whatever else is supposed to come with this in a new chapter, right? Because if I don't make space for things, how can they come in, type of thing. So with that being said, I say all of this to say that it will be more cinematic, I guess, rather than performative, the things that I go and do from now on. And that's anything that I participate in or choose to put my energy into. It will be more cinematic. So more storytelling, I guess. I also cut my hair off, so that's like, but that's not really new. It's pretty old. I cut it like back in June or July. It's October. So like, yeah, it's off and like colored. It's purple and other things. And I'm just gonna be having fun because I wanted to cut my hair off for a long time. And I just was having issues with broken cameras and like, stolen things and, of course, depression, seasonal depression when it comes to like the pandemic and like just feeling like my life could change very fast without warning. And yeah, all that stuff just comes with that. And I needed to regroup. For real. I had to regroup a couple of times, but regroup. And I'm feeling not even a little, I'm gonna give myself credit. I'm feeling much better. Of course not perfect, and I don't think it's gonna be perfection, but I feel like the change of environment really will help because it's something I've always wanted to do, and I've always wanted to live here and follow my dreams here in California. And I am just, very focused on my goals, especially seeing how much and how fast the world could change because of looking and experiencing a pandemic firsthand. So many things could just change at the blink of a dime, which I know this already. I've experienced this prior to any of all this that exists now. I know that already, but I don't know. This past pandemic was something. It's still a pandemic, but like it's something serious. It's just a huge imprint on my life because these are like my very important years of my life, like the most important years of my life, these 20s, and for the most important years of my life, it's spending it in a box basically because quarantine and all of these different restrictions and stuff. I would be lying if I said it didn't hugely impact me, and people don't really talk about it enough. They do glamorize it. They do say, it's time for you to learn a new skill, or people who have experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of passings and stuff like that. It's like, it's a lot. I just wish people talk more about how just these past 2 to 3 years could rewire someone's brain for survival, and even just how they look at the world. People now, it's like a new form of social anxiety that's out now because of it's just people just don't talk about it. And I just had to deal with a lot behind closed doors because it was so overwhelming, and dealing with life and dealing with things that's occurring in my personal life, like so much stuff. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to stop focusing on what's important to me and the things that I want for my life further than the next year, the next 2-3 years, And this platform, YouTube, is very important to me because it's kind of like my video diary now, looking back myself, right? It doesn't even matter who does what or who sees it or how it's shared or whatever. Me looking back at myself, at my younger self, because I started young. Like I was in college, I was, 19 or 20, I don't know. That's when I started it, and I'm really not that person anymore. The person I was 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. All right, I'm not going to keep going on. But I am not that person anymore. It's like almost like every week, every month, every year, there's a new version, a new way to be, to improve, to grow, to learn, to protect, because I do a lot of protecting of my energy, and very important. So yes, from here on out, it will be very cinematic because it's going to be showing the story mode, seeing really more of my growth as a young
person. And when it comes to how I am seeing myself, my sexuality, my gender identity, you know, how I choose to express myself with my hair, with my clothes, with all these different elements, not just one element, because I am a huge puzzle with many, 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 many pieces. That's what I'm doing and what I am doing, because I have things that are just very, very important to me, and I'm not really willing to let the things that are important to me go for anything, right? Not for acclaim, accolades, awards, stature, money, status. None of that stuff matters to me. It's cool and great, and I know how to be grateful for certain things when they come, but they're not my fuel. You know what I mean? They're not my food and water. And really taking the time to find the mental strength within that, being true to myself and being true to those around me is really what's most important. Because if you're lying to yourself, you know what I mean? It's like, of course you're lying to everybody else. So yeah, I just wanted to say that if you want to check out that video that I'm referring to where I made my manifestation board. Yeah, if you want to check that video out, so you could kind of see me in my youth, really trying to plan out what exactly I want to do with my life, or what's important to me, what I want to aspire to. You can check that out so you could kind of like come down this journey with me, because my focus is the journey, not the destination. The journey, the journey, the journey, the journey, the journey. The journey is what's most important, and that's what that's about. Thanks for watching.